shit crack.
Peace, 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 family. How you all doing? I hope all is well with you. My name is Keisha. I'm the owner of Ascendant Astrology, and I am your astrology coach. Today, I'm going to be discussing Venus entering into Leo. This will happen on the 5th of June until October 8th. Um, it'll go retrograde July 2nd. Shadow starts on June 11th. And the signs that will feel this the most are Leos, obviously, Taurus, and Libra. And what I like the most about this transit is that it's going to be aspecting. Anytime you have Venus move into a new sign, it's going to be connected to the North Node because that's the sign that's a planet that rules Taurus, so Taurus North Node. And the North Node again is our mission and purpose in uh this lifetime, so forward, future moving, what we're meant to be going towards. That is the best part about this for me. Um, the other thing to keep in mind to what is happening during this transit is going to be very, 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 very important because the nodes are going to change from Libra and Aries. So Libra South Node, Aries North Node. And whenever you have energy in the South Node, it's a releasing and letting go. So we're really going to get down to the bottom of the Libra energy. You already know I'm going to be going in. I don't think I've done a North Node and South Node for video for Aries and Libra just quite yet. So obviously that'll be coming, and I'll be doing more videos on just understanding the seventh house and Libra. It's going to be very important over the next year and some change with that access. And even though it's the South Node and it's what we're releasing and letting go, doesn't mean that people aren't going to fall in love or love is not going to be there. But it does mean that we will be challenged about the way we think about love. I think women in general are going to change the way they think about love. And I say women in general because Libra is Venus rules women, right? And so it's very much a feminine energy. And with the North Node being in Aries, we're going to be more self-sufficient, taking accountability for our actions as women, and the reasons why relationships aren't working out to our advantage, et cetera, right? And so be on the lookout for that. Keep that in the back of your mind throughout this entire transit. It's going to be very, very important. I'd even take notes, especially if you're one of my clients, or if you want to be a client, you can get your weekly astrology sent to you every week. Now more than ever, especially if you're looking for love. I know that's always a big thing for people. And so if that is your game, you want to make sure that you're taking notes every time that transit is lit up for you and paying attention to, how and what's being activated through that transit so that you can manifest or know what to release and let go of, what you need to build on once the nodes change. Okay. Um, but yeah, so I mean, it could be good or bad, right? Always and forever. There's always a higher vibration and a lower vibration to this. But for the most part, if you've been doing your healing work, I can assure you this is going to work out in your favor. You're not going to have to ask it. It's just going to show up for you. you're going to see people coming into your life who are reflecting your healing. That's just how it works. The challenges will be to not fall in love so recklessly. You know, the separation can feel like devastating when you meet somebody who's on a soul level with you, right? You guys might hate to separate. And so little things like that you'll be working through, and other things that come up within each other's lives. And it doesn't have to be just relationships. It could be friendships, um, partnerships, business partnerships, you know. And so the thing is like you love it and you're so excited about it because you finally find somebody who's reflecting where you're at, is that the separation can almost feel like it's the end of the world. It's very Leo and dramatic, right? But I think again the goal could be having to, learn how to let go and be big enough to do that, right? Um, but for other people, and we'll talk about this a little later in the live, is that Pluto is gonna square this as soon as Leo enters Venus. And that's gonna be a problem. And I'll talk about that in a minute. But for the most part, this transit is really fucking beautiful for building relationships, connections with people of like mind. All right. So Venus, again, is the ruler of Taurus and Libra, which is the second house and the seventh house. But because we've talked about Taurus so much, what we're gonna do is focus on the seventh house. And again, I'll be posting, so you want to make sure you're following me on IG to get the little things that I post here and there. But um, yeah. So Venus rules the seventh house. Seventh house rules love, marriage, um, relationships of all kinds, partnerships, business partnerships, contracts, agreements, mentorship, counseling, therapists, in the legal world. It's even commerce, and it could be real estate or different parts of real estate, more so like um, the setting the stage of like houses and things that are being sold. You know, when you walk into a house, they tend to always have it fixed up really nice. That's a very Libra theme, but it can be somebody who's in real estate doing that type of thing, or very Venusian fashion, beauty, art, music, musicians, socialite events specifically, because of the social energy. Women, again, um, desires, pleasure, um, abundance, money. Yeah. And because it's in a fixed fire sign, Leo, um, fixed fire can be stubborn, don't want to change. So again, watch where you're having struggle opening up to your heart. Leo literally rules the heart. Um, the actual heart on a biological level in your heart of, your desires and pleasures and what it is you want in life, when it comes to love and relationships. And so watch where you're closed off around these types of things for whatever reason. Fixed fire is, they are pretty narrow-minded. They have their eyes set on something the way they want it to go, and they're kind of interchangeable. It can be kind of a my way or the highway type of energy. But with Leo, they're playful. It's like a salesman. They can talk you into getting that raggedy ass car, knowing as soon as you walk off the lot, you're probably going to have to fix it. So again, be open and ready to fix issues in your relationships. Whenever there's a transit that starts off, even as beautiful as it can be, it's always going to show up in the lower vibration, depending on where you are in your spiritual journey. For one, as a test, right? So, say you're single and you find this person, they are just absolutely everything that they want. The first sign of a red flag, um, and you ignore it because they are everything that you want. You're gonna lose that test. right? It's gonna be like instant karma because it's fire sign, it's Venus is Libra. This is gonna move very fast, right? It's fast, quick moving energy. So you want to ask questions immediately when things come up, like, oh, I noticed you said such and such. How much do you think that affects you? Or at what level do you believe that such and such? You know, it could be very conversational. That's the beautiful thing about this, is that it might not be as harsh depending on, what other aspects you have, but generally speaking, because Leo's very fun and playful, and Libra's very fun and playful. So, yeah, but just keep an eye out on the things that you're kind of like not open to, okay, with the fixed energy. Um, and Leo is the ruler of the fifth house. Um, this is also love, romance, dating, fun. Um, this could be like concerts, restaurants, events, event planning, especially for like dating relationships, especially with Jupiter and Taurus. This could be a relationship guru. So we might find more people like, you know what, noticing my fixed fire energy, and when it comes to relationships, I don't want to do this by myself. Um, Let me reach out to somebody who can help me. So people might sign up more for dating advice, or start following dating gurus, um, listening more to them, taking in what they're saying and following their advice. Um, on the flip side to that, on the world stage, we can see a lot of dating gurus being exposed as fakes. It's just unfortunate, but it could be a thing. Um, and reading books like this around these themes, just educating yourself more on how to open up. So love, romance, fun, play, dating, restaurants, outings, theaters, movies, shows, Broadway, wherever you go on dates. So all this falls under here, especially with Aquarius being the opposite of Leo. It was concerts, um, like events outside, like tented events, where you're going on the grass somewhere, things like that. Um, Games, right? Not games like people playing games. It's more like games, like date nights with a friend or something like that. So like group dates, so this could be really good for Meetup. I don't know if people heard of that site, but there's meetups where you could go like on little events and stuff like that with other people, whether they're in relationships or not. It's a great place to go to find a significant other who likes to do things that you like to do, right? So like a hike or a boating trip, and you find somebody there who, you could fall in like with. Um, what else? Sex, casual sex. That might be the other downfall to this. Um, because it's not making love, right? What would that be? More Scorpio, believe it or not. Um, Although that can be obsessive. Trying to think if it would be anybody else. Maybe Pisces. Pisces. Um, but yeah, sex, casual sex, um, the act of having sex or having a child, so actual conception. If you don't want no babies, I'm telling you right now, you better wrap it up because Leo wants babies. Okay, just period. Um, and if it's not having an actual child, um, this children or creativity, that's why Leo rules creative energy. Um, and so be careful for one night stands and getting duped. They could talk you into any goddamn thing. But also you can meet somebody and it comes off as it starts out as just something casual, casual sex, friends with benefits. Oh my God. With Venus and fucking Leo, they'll pride themselves on this concept. They're probably the only ones who can do it and make that shit look professional. Um, like it's your fucking job. Um, so friends with benefits, but it can turn into something real. That's the positive to it. Um, I mean, I'd much rather say, make sure you're talking about these things and having serious conversations because you do want to watch out for the backlash, especially during the retrograde, even though Mars isn't involved here, Mars will be in Leo the start of this. Unfortunately, it could lead to people getting diseases. It's just a fact. It's only really when Mars is in retrograde that that's a thing, but just be mindful, okay? Be mindful. Mars will still be in Leo for a short period or duration of this transit. And even again, even though it's not retrograde, be mindful, okay? Um, so yes, this could be the blending of a family with two people who have children, or that your children are dating, falling in love, and all these other things that we're talking about, obviously, depending on their age. And if it's not that, then I think another theme that can come up here is like, how do we blend families? How do we have more fun? It's summertime, so this could be like things like summer camp. Leo is education for children. And so this could be somebody, a nanny, homeschooler, tutor, um, daycare specifically for education. Um, Yeah, camp. That's what I get more so with this than anything, because you could do a lot of creative things with camp, like going boating, all the little things that they do, the zoo with when you're in camp, right? Um, so it could be stuff like that going on, especially with sports. It could be kids in sports. Leo does rule sports in some senses, gambling. It can be gambling. So if it's not that your child just becomes super creative around this time, or start dating, their creative talents can blossom. Your creative talents and self-employment can blossom. Or again, things around sports, gambling, I'm pretty sure is going to be a huge thing this entire time because Venus is here. You could get really lucky, especially with Jupiter and Taurus. Jupiter is still blessing Venus, right? It is the North Node. So there is some energy coming, some blessings coming from that energetically around receiving abundance, right? Money. Um, and depending on what house it's in, is going to tell you even more about what kind of blessings you have or what can come to you at this time, right? Um, this could also be vacations. So Leo is like my retirement as well as Capricorn. But Capricorn's more like planning to retirement. Leo is the actual retirement. So again, somebody who can go on vacation or work from home type of stuff on vacation, and you're still getting paid for that, right? So having a good time, having fun, but knowing how to get your taxes back on traveling for work, summertime traveling, just in general, your bucket list. Leo is definitely my bucket list placement, where places and spaces where you can go that you always wanted to go, type of thing, you know? Um, yeah. So we can become very confident when it comes to these things, creating these things, saving for these things. Our creative expressions can come out a lot more at this time. Essentially, this is about falling in love, um, going on dates and getting to know someone, making creative things. This is a great time for entertainers, again, self-employment and showing your personal talents. And Venus is going to definitely send you blessings as well. Where Venus is, it supports whatever it brings to you. Venus comes in as a helper. So again, mentorship, counselors, and things like that. Even friends, social conversations around, just having somebody to talk to, type of deal. Um, you can get a lot of that at this time. Venus will immediately oppose Pluto. So back to what I was talking to at the beginning. Pluto is tension, a darker side to love, obsession, fixation, power, depth, the shadow side of things, toxicity and abusiveness. Um, and then remember, you still have Mars and Leo. So Mars is action, masculinity, combative, cutting, fighting, and war, with Venus following right behind it. I talked about this when I talked about Mars, I believe. Um, Mars has already been through where Venus is about to start coming back over. And so squares are the energy of Mars. So it can be friction, conflict, or force. Now, this doesn't have to be all bad. I'm just going to put it out there, as crazy as it might sound. On the swing to Pluto, it's vulnerability, opening up, getting down, having somebody who can get down to the deepest, darker sides of uh childhood trauma, Leo, childhood, children, childlike energy, and your psychological conditioning, Pluto, that has come from your childhood, and how you operate in relationships because of that. Having somebody to talk to. Pluto is also astrology, numerology, and all the divinations and the psychology of how the mind works and what makes people tick. And so this is also counseling, whether it's through a spiritual practice or an actual counselor, it doesn't really matter. Get help. If you are noticing that your shadow side, darker sides are showing up, it'll be great if you have a partner's support through this time, which would be phenomenal. It would make the relationship way deeper, deeper connection. But get help. Okay, get help. Don't let a good thing go bad because you're afraid to address your darker shadow self. Um, don't try to do it on your own. Okay, you don't have to do it on your own, Venus. You don't have to do it on your own, Venus. You don't have to do it on your own, Venus. That's the biggest message here. This could also be really, really, really good sex, tantra, um, yoga poses and things like that. Um, Getting massages together, super, super romantic and sexual, right? Um, Studying something together, watching something together, just doing things together, right? Something that connects you on a deeper soul level. Now, on the other side, unfortunately, it is everything that it sounds like. I think we can see a lot of child porn, things coming out, especially around celebrities and politicians. Unfortunately, it's just a harsh truth. Um, Again, sexual abuse as children and why you struggle in relationships could come up to the surface now. If your child was sexually abused, these things can come up now. We might see a lot of cases in the news around these types of things. Um, but take it as an opportunity to heal. Again, I'm going to keep saying that. So if I sound repetitive or like a broken record, don't get mad. It's just take this time to heal these things because it could get real tight and painful with a retrograde. Remember, we're having this transit now direct. Once Venus starts going retrograde, it's going back over. It's almost like somebody, it's going to go like this. Like this, it's going to bring it up and bring it out like this, just in case you didn't hear me the first time, and then like this. So that third time, thank God, by that point, it will probably be, you know what, I can't fucking take this anymore. I need to go get help. I wish people wouldn't wait that long, but literally, it's going over it. Same space, whatever this is bringing up 3 times. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's what retrogrades are built to do. And so you have an opportunity to fix it, right? So if I keep saying it, that's why I'm not trying to be funny. Abusive relationships, people manipulating you and trying to take advantage of you, um, jealous and envy, especially in your social circles. Unfortunately, that's just going to be something that comes up, especially if you've already done your healing and you're in your higher self and you're receiving the higher aspects of this energy. People are going to see your love and be like, they're either going to say relationship goals or I hate that fucking bitch. She stole my life. How do I fuck hers up? Just period. Um, guys too, all right. This is even though this is very much Venusian energy, Mars and squares, Pluto, well, Pluto's even feminine, but um this can very much be a masculine energy as well. So don't think guys out there that you're like out of the circle. Your friends can be very jealous of you if you are with a significant other that makes you very happy. Um, um, you and a significant other can start doing lives and things like that about relationships and giving relationship advice. It could be all kinds of different things, but um, I'm trying to think. Sex trafficking, crime, criminals, um, like laundering money. So be careful for who you do business with around money. I really wouldn't loan people money. Hell, I wouldn't even do gambling, to be quite frank, at this time, because it could be somebody who thinks that they're going to pull one over on you. And when the moment they realize, oh shit, this person is really fucking good, then they're going to send their little fucking, uh, bookies after you or whatever. It can be like that kind of energy here, right? Very much crime mob energy, especially with Leo. Leo on the lower vibration is foot soldiers, gangs, um, yeah, uh, the person who comes to the shibuki, just period. It's very gang related here. um Mob type energy. So pay what you owe. Just be mindful of the company that you keep. And at the very least, if you're somebody who's just in that life and you're not in it because you're a crime, but you don't know you're 3 seconds away, you're gonna find out. Yep, that's what's gonna happen, right? So be careful, pay attention to your surroundings. And yeah. Um I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Mm, yeah, so Venus is going to bring repercussions to your actions and relationships and finances. So if you're acting out of ego, aggression, threatening, selfish, entitled, you will pay financially. So ultimately, that sounds like jail time, just period. Or you can have a winning streak and lose big time, again, which will lead to financial loss and a bully beatdown, you know, essentially. So be very, 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 very careful. So when you add Leo to the mix, um, Leo's very warm, loving, charismatic energy. It can feel like I want what makes me happy. It's going to wake up and say, if I don't create something, if I don't call that person and tell them how I feel, if I don't start that business or paint that painting, then I'm going to explode. That's another way this can show up on the more positive side of this is that your creative passions, you can become very obsessive. The thought process, but also just like, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. And if you don't, you're gonna be like a mad person around here, just losing it and going crazy. Um, your children can be like this. They can be little freaking tyrants, to be quite frank, especially if they don't get what they want. It's summertime, it's hot. They're annoyed, you're annoyed. They want to go to the freaking amusement park. That was the other thing I was trying to think of when I was naming the themes of Leo. This could definitely be like amusement parks and things like that. Unfortunately, we might hear some crazy ass, wild ass, tragic stories around amusement park accidents. Again, I'm not wishing these things family, but with Pluto and Mars involved, it's just a reality that you're gonna have to accept whether you like it or not. Those things can happen. Um, and so we need a healthy outlet of our passion for our creativity, for our desires. We need to be more playful. We need to be more romantic. There's more room to go out and socialize. This might feel like a real summer after COVID, um, that we haven't had for a while. The square might highlight people don't have money though. So the squares are not going to be fun, but they're just going to challenge us again to, again, whether you're madly in love and that separation feels like devastating, or very Leo like where you're having a tantrum because you want to go big or go home. The best restaurant, the best whatever, very flashy, right? Um, you want your partner to have the finer things in life. That's very Leo, right? Well, here's the thing. Um, we might not have the money, right? Money might be tight. And so again, it's going to feel devastating, like it's the end of the world. You ever watch a child when you tell them they can't get something and they just like that bottom lip gets the trembling and they just have a tantrum on the floor. This is how I view a Leo not being able to get their way. Now, everybody's not going to be in this energy, by the way. Again, some people have retired quite well. They've been able to save, they have money. Pay attention to Jupiter and Taurus and the North Node and Taurus and that whole stellium of Taurus energy. It is going to change the dynamics of what you can and can't do. But another way it can also show up is like you're ready to buy a home with your significant other, and it's like, yeah, we rather go out and play and have fun, but we got to be mature and adult, like, and buy this damn property so that we can come together, right? It could be about really about how do I get closer to my significant other so I can see them all the time and so I can have them by my side. Um, it could be stuff like that. again, blending of families and and lifestyles and things of that nature. And again, I'm using relationships as an example. This can be with any relationship. You can find this even with your creativity, your relationship that you have with that, your relationship that you have with money, your relationship that you have with wanting to go out and clubbing and stuff on the weekend. That's another Leo theme. Clubbing, bars and things like that, right? And so we might not um have the money to do those things that we seek as pleasurable. And so how do you do that and still be creative, but spend thrifty, right? So this is like picnics. You can still buy liquor. You can do nighttime picnics, especially over by a water bank or somewhere or something. Um, Make up your own rules. That's what's going to make this so much fun. Don't fight it. Just start coming up with creative ideas, throw them out there, do some research, challenge yourself to be different. Even if you don't actually go to water outside in your backyard, looking up at the stars, having a picnic out there, doing things at home. This is where the games come in. So date nights, game nights, super for Leo energy, okay? I might do mad posts around that stuff. Um, but yeah, so just challenge yourself to think outside of the box. You can watch sports from home. It might not be fun. Um, um, to think about it that way, but invite a few friends over, make them bring the beer, make it a BYOB, bring your own beer event. And that way you get free and maybe you're supplying the snacks and the TV and you know what I mean? Just get creative. Um, maybe you can't go to the big amusement park, but they have a whole bunch of little amusement parks out at this time. So do like city events and things like that, and it'll be just as fun. Um, yeah, I'm just reading my notes, family, sorry, because I'm trying not to repeat myself. Yeah, spending on a new hobby or sports. This can be also us learning more, um, is not more. So again, if you're that big Leo energy and you want to go out and do it big, it might not even bring you pleasure anymore, to be quite frank. You might be very happy with doing something a lot more subtle, um, and low key. Um, Again, date nights don't have to be a restaurant or overdoing it. Develop and do things in a frugal way, learning to create financial pockets of money to do things you love for times like this. So again, Jupiter in Taurus is about savings, budgeting. I'm telling you, people, if you don't know what uh theory comes with saving, go do some research, try it out. It'll save your life when you put little bits of money away for little things. Take out or look at your finances as a whole and see where are you spending right now that's not even no more relevant, right? How can you get your bills down to be a little bit less? These are things you can do. Do some research, listen to some videos on how to really break down a budget. I promise you, I talked about this a lot back in 2020 and 2021, I believe, on some really cool budgeting tips when I was working with Brian for those who have been following me since for that long. Um, it's such an amazing tool to take advantage of. But you could be paying for things right now that you don't even watch anymore. but you're not thinking about it. Go through all of your stuff and see if there's something that you can take out. And boom, who knows after that, you might have an abundance of money to do stuff that you might really be wanting to do, but you're thinking right now you can't do. That's that fixed energy. Okay. Notice where you're blocking yourself off, uh, blocking your blessings. Okay. On the world stage, we're going to hear about again child stars, celebrities, celebrity gossip, and drama, celebrities and politicians' involvement in investments and politics, the banking industry, and again, child sexual acts. Um, some relationships are going to be exposed, and there can be a lot of Hollywood changes. I think already Disney to me is going through an uproar. I think Hollywood is in general. I think there's going to be a lot of shocking, unexpected news and things coming out about Hollywood. Like we don't already know. Hollyweird is fucking off the chain, but I think it's about to get way more louder. It's Leo. And so they're going to say it with their chest. It's going to be all over the news, and people are just going to be like, no, because he just said it twice. He said it twice. No. So it could be a lot of things like that. There's going to be plenty of dramatic flair, loud colors, flashy styles, um, hairstyles, jewelry, bright jewelry, shiny things, costumes. I think very much gay, lesbian, flair for sure. It's about to amp up like no other fucking summer before. Like they do it big every time, but I don't know. For some reason, I'm feeling it's gonna be bigger. Like it can get any fucking bigger. Um, so costumes. This could also be very tribal, like Caribbean things. You know, they do the Caribbean celebrations throughout the town, the Spanish celebration, you know, all that there's going to be hella fun this year because it's got that extra flair of Leo energy. It could be very like earthy tones with the Taurus and energy coming in, or very again tribal, like ethnic. That's a better way to say that. Um, you know, it could be little uh ethnic things that come out, um godlike things, king-like things, so crowns, gold, again, shiny jewelries and things like that, big jewelries, you know, things like this, and crowns. Can be very, very significant. Even like the jewelries from here to here. I think African, Egyptian, piercings, you know, a lot of stuff like that. Very motorcycle life-esque with the piercings. Okay. That's how I think of this. You know, loud and proud. They're gonna roar when they come through. So even like the motorcycle gangs are gonna be lit. Like, I don't know. I'm getting very big Leo-esque energy here. Even the creative things can be a lot louder, a lot more festive, a lot more people come out and show up. So the creative arts things and Broadway, theater might become more popular as opposed to movies. But we'll see. Um, Loyalty and commitment um, are going to be extremely important in your relationships. Again, all relationships, but specifically romantic. Leo energy takes those things, those are like non-negotiables, right? So you will be being watched. Um, and dating, you know, people are going to be looking for your loyalty. They're going to expect you to commit to them because Leos are like, I'm worth it. And if you show them that they are worth it, they will give it back tenfold. That's just how Leos are. Leos are like, well, if I have on a ring and you have to have on a ring, they're very much like that. So this is like dress alike stuff, little cute stuff like that. Um, or same tattoos, very much tattoos here. Um, you know, all those kind of like cutesy relationship things people do. My brain's starting to get tired, so I can't think of it, but you can think of something like that. You can put them in the comment section below and let a bitch know what I forgot. Um, um, they very much want appreciation for the nice things that they do for you. So this is somebody who likes to hear you did a good job, or I really liked your art, or I love the way you dress, or thank you so much for getting me this, or for feeding me, or for inviting me, or for having me. Very much so makes a Leo feel like they're on top of the fucking world. Okay, good job. Thank you. They're so appreciating your partner's qualities, give them admiration. Um, these people will be forever grateful for you. With the Taurus energy, this could be very much the feeling of needing to feel, right? Touch with the five senses. So again, doing things like getting massages together, massaging each other, um, you know, all those kinds of sexy, romantic type things there. Um, Showing love and making your significant other feeling wanted are gonna go 1,000 miles of gratitude and graciousness during this time. Leo wants more love, more relationships, more harmony, more beauty. Relationship dynamics are going to be tested. I talked about that. We could see things around heart problems, feminism, topics, gay, lesbian topics, again, children and health, unfortunately, veterans and their health, unfortunately. Um, yeah, so I covered all those things. Um, yeah, man. I mean, there's always gonna be something, you know, nothing is matter of fact or perfect, but try to have fun, try to be frugal and fall in love with whatever area or aspect this is showing up for you. And again, if you want more information on that, you can holler at your girl. As usual, family, I love and appreciate you. I hope you found this information helpful. Peace.